This is me, Christopher, and today we will to debunk Nifana igneel, saying that the Ten Commandments win the battles against the archangels. So I just play this in the beginning to make the context. Okay.
The archangels. So, in canon, the fight starts the same. You have the three commandments versus the two archangels. Now, remember the reason why the archangels are fighting the commandments. It's because Ludashal captured hundreds of demons to draw out the commandments, and then the other two archangels will ambush them and kill them. And we see Tarmiel ask Sariel, do you want to bet on how long it will take to kill the Ten Commandments? And Sariel says 5 minutes, whereas Tarmiel says 10 seconds, which we then see them use Omega Arc, which is one of their strongest attacks. This just shows that the Archangels were trying to kill the commandments as fast as possible, which that wouldn't be the case if they wanted to play around and hold back. It makes no logical nor narrative sense for them to do that and put themselves in a bad situation. A lot of people will say, but they were laughing and smiling in the fight. But do realize that just because you're having fun in a fight doesn't mean you are holding back at all. All it means you are enjoying the fight, same as how the commandments smiled when they saw Tarmiel regenerate. So does that mean the commandments were also holding back? Most likely not, but anyway. We then see Monspeed blitz Sariel and hit Sariel with a fire attack, and we see Tarmiel get blitzed by Derriere, and she landed a punch on him, which he shrugs it off, but the second punch, which also blitzed him, it caved in his face, and she hits him 54 times. And Tarmiel couldn't do anything, seeing how he isn't a close combat fighter and is a ranged fighter, which also makes sense as to why Derriere can blitz him, even though he is focused on her and is looking at her direction, but still couldn't dodge or block the second punch. We then see Monspeed thinking to himself that the Archangels gave them the opportunity to kill them since they left their post to fight the commandments. We then see Sariel blow off the fire that Monspeed attacked him with, and it's revealed that he had a wind barrier around him. Also note how Sariel said that it's going to be fun, which further supports my previous argument. But back on topic, we then see Tarmiel regenerate from Derriere's attacks, but then gets blitzed by Galland, even though Galland was in his line of vision, and again Tarmiel regenerates. And we see Derriere and Galland smile from excitement, and then they start fighting again. We cut back to Monspeed versus Sariel, and nothing much happens. Sariel was able to tag Monspeed by flying past him. Then he gets slapped by Fardrin, and then Monspeed and Sariel agree that their fight will take 5 minutes. We cut back to Tarmiel versus Galland and Derriere, and we see one of Tarmiel's heads was able to react to base Galland and shoots out an attack in which Galland blocks, and then the main head is charging up an arc attack, which the other head shoots out a light beam at Derriere so that they keep their distance. And we see the main head of Tarmiel worry and launches his charged up attack at base Galland, but then Monspeed, while fighting Sariel, shoots out a darkness attack, and that attack blitzed Tarmiel, seeing how his third head couldn't perceive the attack that was coming, even though it was coming straight to him, but that shot did get a triple headshot. We then see Monspeed was caught off guard by Sariel, and then Derriere punches through Sariel's wind barrier and takes out his eye. And then we see our glorious king, Galland, in critical over, holding up the attack that Tarmiel charged up, and then he slams Tarmiel's attack on Sariel. And then Ludishol arrives to save Tarmiel and Sariel, and off guards Galland, which Galland did regenerate. Then we see Ludishol block Monspeed's darkness blasts, and then dodges Derriere's kick via short distance teleportation, based on what it seems like. And then they get blasted with a arc attack. Now, this is the interesting part, because Monspeed and Derriere do the Endura transformation, and we see Endura Derriere blitz Ludishol and sending him flying with a punch. Then Ludishol uses a stronger attack on Endura Derriere, and it did nothing to her. We then see the Archangels freaking out, and Ludishol telling Sariel and Tarmiel to help him. But as they try to go help Ludishol, Endura Monspeed no-diffs them. We then see Ludishol dodge a attack from Endura Derriere, and then he shoots out another attack, and that attack does nothing once again. Ludishol is sent flying, and that's when the fight is interrupted after Ludishol acknowledges that he is cooked. So here's the thing.
Okay, did you literally know what is cocky means? Let me tell you in Google. What is cocky means conceited or arrogant, especially in bold or even in a way. So the archangels are just cocky. Did you literally know that they didn't use their strongest attack? It's literally just a likable argument, lol.
After Ludishol acknowledges that he is cooked. So here's the thing. There is multiple ways the commandments could have won. But first, let me explain the Endura transformation and how powerful the Endura is. Firstly, the Endura is when a high-ranking demon with a combat class over 50,000 sacrifice commandments. In other words, it surpasses 50% of the Demon King's power. And this was stated by Merlin, who is very knowledgeable on the verse. And we see the Demon King confirms what Merlin says about the Endura being above the 10 Commandments, due to the fact that the Demon King says that not even the 10 Commandments would be a match for the 7 deadly sins. And then right after that, he summons an Endura to deal with the sins, which he was lucky enough to get the strongest version of the Endura, since he didn't say which type of Endura. So this confirms that a random Endura is stronger than 50% of the Demon King's power. But also note that when the 10 Commandments go Endura, they become the strongest version of Endura, known as the Lord's Grace Endura. This is important because when we see Monspeed and Derriere go Endura, They are not complete, but are freshly transformed, kinda like how baby Endura get stronger and get bigger in minutes. It's the same case here. Because when Enduramon Speed and Derriere push back Elizabeth's light, we see that they further transform and start looking more beastly than human, which makes sense, seeing how a complete Lord's Grace Endura looks like a beast. And also, remember Goddess Elizabeth has a combat class equal to or above the 4 Archangels, meaning she is equal to.
Okay, firstly, did you even know that Goder's creator said that Miles is can rival Elizabeth and Meliodas? It's even said, it's even stated by Merlin, by Goethe itself, that Goethe's creator create literally said that Miles can rival Elizabeth and Meliodas. So I don't know what you mean.
Or above 50% of the supreme deity's power. And even with that, Elizabeth needed hope to push back the darkness. Even Meliodas said he couldn't do anything against a Endura, Monspeet, and Derriere. And Meliodas in Demon Mark or Base is stated that his power is on par with the 10 Commandments by Diane Droll and King Bloxenia. So a few minutes transformed Derriere and Monspeed were already beyond 50% Demon King level. So if Elizabeth didn't interfere, even if Mael was there and it was high noon, the Archangels would have still lost in that case.
What do you mean? My Goethe's creator already said that Miles is Ludociel already stated that Ludociel already stated that Miles is stronger than three of the archangels by using high noon, and the even Goethe stated by Goethe's creator that Miles is can rival Meliodas and Elizabeth. So I don't know what you mean. I already said that.
But let's talk about the other case that the commandments could have also won if Monspeed and Derriere didn't go Endura. One of the win cons is if Gother and Melascula didn't leave to do their submission, the Archangels would have lost, more specifically Tarmiel and Sariel would lose in a matter of minutes or seconds. Because as you can tell, the Archangels didn't do all that good against 3 of the 10 commandments. They got blitzed multiple times. They only landed 2 clean hits without it being blocked or caught. Whereas if Ludashol didn't arrive when he did, then Tomiel and Sariel would have died in canon. But this time you add in 2 more commandments, which y'all should know how strong and broken Melascula and Gother are. If not, watch my ranking video on the commandments and the 7 deadly sins. Also note that the Archangels had 50% of their team, whereas the 10 commandments only had 30% of their team fighting the 2 Archangels. But if it was both 50-50, then I don't see the 2 Archangels winning. They would lose before Ludashol shows up, And then it's Five Commandments versus Ludashow, and I don't see Ludashow winning that. He wasn't even able to one-shot Galland, even though he wanted to kill the commandments. He failed to one-shot them, nor was he able to destroy any of their hearts, but he probably did, but they just regenerated it. Specifically when you look at where he donutted Monspeed and Derriere. So they probably just regenerated their hearts. Also, what can Ludashell do if he is hit by Kill Switch, which can turn off the Demon King's magic? So Ludashell will get hit by that, and then he has
Okay. What? Archangel's grace is not magic. If the archangels grace are magic, then how they can create domain of God, which is literally a dimension?
His grace is shut down, and now he is Holy Knight level, and that's being generous, since the strongest Archangel Mael, without his grace, needs to be saved by Gyola, and was taking damage from goddesses that were Holy Knight level. So if Ludashell's grace is shut off, the commandments would one-tap him. Also, Gother with the AoE illusions would go crazy, and how he can trap Ludashell in a Tsukiyomi-like state, and Ludashell has to deal with Malaskula's snake poison, which pretty much makes you unable to hit your target even at point blank range, and you are unable to dodge any attack because of the poison. And the attacks are pretty much guaranteed to hit you after you've been affected by the poison. The second way they could have won is when Malaskula and Gother do their submission. Derriere, Galland, and Monspeed stall out till Zeldris arrives, which Zeldris does arrive eventually, and in this timeline, Zeldris will be able to deal with Gother casually and put him back in prison, and then he will sense that the three commandments are getting jumped by the three archangels, which he would know that the four archangels are equivalent to, well, are supposedly equivalent to the 10 commandments altogether. So he will take Malaskula and go and support the three commandments, and if that happens, all of the archangels are done, because Zeldris was able to beat
Unless Marl Tainun kick in. Unless Mile the one kick in. Unless Mile full potential the one in it.
a few minutes past high noon Mael, and that was a fatigued Zeldris with no commandments who was able to beat that version of Mael, and Mael needed to off-guard Zeldris in order to...
Bro, did you literally watch the anime? He literally holding back. He said, I don't want to kill you. To Zeldris. Bro, did you literally watch the anime? Did you literally read the manga?
win. So Luda the other archangels would just lose, and even if they go and call for Mael to help them, they wouldn't be able to do so because Malascula corrupted the only gate in the area that leads to the celestial realm. So they have no
The man of God be like, Hai Hainun Mile be like, full potential Mile be like,
backup, and now they're fighting 5 commandments, one of which is on par with 15 minutes max past high noon Mayo, and is able to damage the one Escanor, even with Escanor holding his sacred treasure, and that Zeldris has no commandment. Now we're talking about a commandment Zeldris and is fresh and isn't fatigued. He's soloing. He's soloing.
okay. Did you know that the archangels are immune to the commandment powers? Let me tell you in Google. Yes, in Seven Deadly Sins, the archangels are basically stated to be immune to the powers of the Ten Commandments. So I don't know what you mean. My full potential. My full pot. My high. My high noon. My high noon. With the Malahaynun with the one power is literally bit prime the demon king. So I don't know what are you meaning by this.
And isn't fatigued. He's soloing.
Yeah.
He's soloing.
Yeah, he don't know.
He would one tap Luda and then it's just Tarmiel and Sariel versus Zeldris, Malascula, and the 3 other commandments. So yeah, that's all I have to say on the topic. Let me know what you guys think, and until next time.
Okay, he is done. Oh, guys, I literally I literally have brain damage to this. Oh, and also I already comment on Nirvana Igneel. There, he literally said there's a thing called biology manipulation. What's the biology manipulation in Seven Deadly Sins? It was the darkness created by Gother's creator. I don't know what you mean. Oh, and also, the seven deadly sin literally got plot armor because of Gother. So yeah, I don't know what you mean. Yeah, because even the bec- because they will die by mile with commandment power if Seldris was convinced mile. So yeah, he basically solos all of them, uh, including including demon, prime demon king, and prime supreme deity. Unless Chaos Arthur, of course, because he literally create the first. So yeah, that's what I'm to say. Leave a like and comment, and yeah, thanks for watching.